Hello everyone, my name is Chris McIntosh. I help teach the capstone courses. Today we're talking about the context section of your paper. We're working on the final paper portion of your capstone. In this video, we'll cover elements of the methods section of your paper. Context is a Level 2 APA heading in this paper. It falls under the Level 1 Methods heading. We'll discuss guidance about how to write this section available in the Squire guidelines and the paper template. The Squire explanation and elaboration document mentions several relevant aspects of context you could discuss in your paper. Describing the context in which the initiative took place is necessary to assist readers in understanding whether the intervention is likely to work in their local environment. Describing the context also helps readers to assess the generalizability of the findings. Specific and relevant elements of context thought to optimize the likelihood of success should be addressed in the design of the intervention, and plans should be made a priori to measure these factors and examine how they interact with the success of the intervention. Describing the context within the methods section orients the reader to where the initiative occurred. In single-center studies, this description usually includes information about the location, patient population, size, staffing, practice type, teaching status, system affiliation, and relevant processes in place at the start of the intervention. This information can be used by the reader to assess whether his or her own practice setting is similar enough to the practices included in this report to enable extrapolation of the results. Any contextual factors believed a priori would impact the success of their intervention should be specifically discussed in this section. Other contextual factors you could describe are mentioned in the paper template. You could discuss the processes currently in use. You might consider creating a diagram or flowchart to illustrate processes in place at the beginning of the project for the reader. Is your capstone project part of a larger project? If so, describe how your project fits with the larger project or meets the goals of the organization. Who are the sponsors, team members, and beneficiaries of your project? Describe who will be directly and indirectly impacted by your project. I have reviewed writing resources that are available in previous videos. I'll leave these here as a resource as you work on the current section. I've reviewed editing resources and practices in previous videos. I'll leave these slides here as a resource as you work on this section. Before you submit your assignments, analyze each of your paragraphs. After you've analyzed your paragraphs for logical flow and cohesiveness, you should review your sentences. At a minimum, you should be checking for spelling and grammar before submitting your work. I've reviewed these editing prompts in previous videos. I'll leave these slides here as a resource as you work on the current section of your paper. This is a prompt for editing grammar and style. This is a prompt that could help for editing clarity and conciseness. This is a prompt that could help editing for consistent tone. The writing in the context section should be supported by literature citations where appropriate. I remind you of the importance of checking all references before submitting your paper. That's all we'll do in this video. There's more to come. Here are the references for these slides.